Welcome to Manufacturing Talk Radio.
Hi all, Lou Weiss again at the Motion and Power Technology Expo, formerly known as the Gear Technology Expo. That's been presented for the last 16 years, I think, by AGMA, American Gear Manufacturing Association, who we are closely allied with as a marketing arm with them and for them. Today I have Mr. Andrew Eklind, who is a marketing director for a company called B&D Industrial.
Correct.
That was the hard one.
Yeah. Can't leave that out.
Andrew, tell us about yourself, and then we'll get into real good stuff.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here today. My name is Andrew Eklind. I graduated with an international business marketing degree with actually a focus on, Chinese language, Asia. After college, went to work for an AC and DC electric motor manufacturer called Tech Motors. Where we designed and sold electric motors to industry, a B2B business. After that, I worked for a company called Mura America, who makes modular, high-efficiency water tube steam boilers. And now I'm here with B&D Industrial. And B&D Industrial is a industrial distributor, started in 1947 under the name Bearings and Drives. And now is a prominent distributor in the Southeast, and we offer sales, service, gearing, reliability solutions, scale solutions, and one of the newer divisions is our IoT division.
So you've been in manufacturing, marketing for...
Correct.
How many years?
About 10 years now.
10 years.
10, 11 years,
Okay.
Yep.
So one of the things that we found out at Manufacturing Talk Radio about manufacturers is that they do good things, they know how to make things, they know how to sell things. But there's a lot of things that they don't know. And
Correct.
They're beginning to know a lot more because of things like podcasts and so on. But the companies you work for, were they upbeat on marketing, or was that something that they had to learn, or say, you just do it?
Yeah. No, I love that question because if you know industrial companies, they are some of the last ones to get on board with modern marketing technologies. And I remember, working for an industrial company early on, and some people saying, "Hey, we make a great product. Why don't people just buy it, right?" And I asked them, well, how are they going to know about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I've really enjoyed and coming into these companies, looking around at the marketing that they are doing, where it looks like brochures and postcards, and I'm saying, wait a second, you're not taking advantage of automation, you're not taking advantage of targeting, you're not taking advantage of all these things, and then my eyes just light up because I know the opportunities that are available and how the traction that they can make by taking advantage of those.
Are they afraid or concerned about the cost of the new technologies in marketing?
I think that's a great question, and I think in a bit, yes. But actually, without using these technologies, advertising and things can cost more. I mean, you talk about getting a billboard, right? That's probably one of the most shotgun approaches to advertising is getting a billboard and whoever drives by and sees it. That's a very high cost. Whereas now you can target the exact person that you want to reach and then just reach them with $3 Google ads. So it really can take your spending down and target more on who you actually want to target. But you're right. Yes, they are scared, to tell you the truth. I mean, if you look at some of the cost of platforms, it can get crazy.
But if you take a look at the media kit for outreach, the billboard, the digital billboard,
right,
it could shock the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Big numbers.
I know. And they definitely get some traffic. The question is it the right traffic?
Well, take, for example, the digital billboards in airports.
Right.
That can run you $100,000.
Oh, yes.
But you get 3 million people going through a terminal every month.
Sure.
But that's a lot of money.
And those can be much better for some B2C companies where they're just trying to reach consumers and get brand awareness out there. But there's much more targeted approaches that you can do with industrial products because the niche is so much more of a smaller niche.
So after you join a company, you've now been with 3 of them, and you're fairly new with this B&D. Have you approached them with a campaign that you want to do this, that, the other, and let's go? And do you have to convince them, or are you still in convincing stage?
Oh, yeah. Somehow you know exactly who I am. It's hard for me to sit idle.
Yeah.
When I come into a company, I can usually pick up on a lot of red flags of what's going on and where it's at. And I'm very detail oriented, so I can notice exactly what's going on. And coming into the company, you're right, man. I'm hot out the gate. Let's say I like to come in and say we need to start fixing this. And with B&D Industrial, there's so much expertise there. There's so much that they do. There's so much history. So this time at B&D Industrial, I really tried to sit back, learn, soak it in as much as I can. And, by doing that, I've learned something new every day. I learned different. And I'm really just trying to let the creative juices start flowing also so that I can create something that's really special for them.
Yeah. We find that companies are a bit resistant. They bring in a new marketing guy.
Right.
No, we don't need to do that. We've got this product and it's been great. We've been selling it for years, and everybody knows about it. And then the marketing guy does a poll and he finds out that nobody knows about it.
Right. Yeah.
You got the same customer for the last 20, 30 years. What about all the new companies?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, last year we had the most new companies starting in manufacturing in 20 years.
You're right.
So it's almost like when you want to get a kid not to go to college but go into manufacturing, you got to teach the parents.
Right.
And this is the same kind of thing. You got to teach the management that, good, you got a great product here.
Right.
Aside from the 200 clients that you have,
right,
here's the facts and figures on how many more companies are out there that use your product. There's another 2,000. Do you know them?
Right. No, you're right. And especially in the fourth industrial revolution, there's a lot of companies just being created to take advantage of all these new IoT technologies. Right. And for digital products, it doesn't take a long time to set up. You can you can build a website quickly. You can write some code and build some products quickly. So, you could walk into try to sell your product at a customer in 3 months without that previous experience of actually doing it, right? So you're right. I mean, the competition it comes up fast, and they need money to market, because, as you mentioned, some companies freak out as far as marketing because it's not necessarily a profit loss center. It's more of just a loss center, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
It's going to generate more business and then generate revenue, but when you're first spending marketing dollars, you're just kind of, letting them out into the open, hoping that they bring some return.
I mean, marketing can get expensive, but the return, there's a legacy return.
Right.
You don't just not a one-time sale.
Right.
You wind up with somebody for 10, 20 years.
That buys multiple times. Right.
Yeah, and we find that similarly with All Metals and Forge Group, and we've had a website since 1994.
Okay.
And so many people that in 94 we still have them.
Yeah.
And we still get new customers. We have about a 10% growth rate of new customers per month.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Now you multiply that, we're doubling our business.
Compound interest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And so we have been leaders in the forefront in what we do.
Yeah.
And then we started with this, and it's only multiplied even more so.
I would love to see what that first website looks like.
Go to way back.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do that.
Well, the interesting part about that was our first website, being that there weren't any,
right,
for the most part. I wanted our website to be not only a lead generator, but an information resource.
Wow.
About metals, metallurgy, forgings, techniques.
You were ahead of the curve.
Right. So we were doing that. We had like 45, 50,000 visitors a month.
Wow, that's awesome.
So we're now rebuilding a fourth website. It's going to be a lot smaller.
Okay.
And it's going to be a lot less resource information because people don't need to know all that stuff about metallurgy. I'm selling to a purchasing agent. He doesn't have to know, what the chemistry breakdown of 4140 alloy steel is. So I want it to be more of a lead generator. I want it to be more of a promoter for manufacturing talk radio, teaching them about the new techniques in marketing, which you could probably sit here all day and teach me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think with websites, it's not like a physical location where you only have so many rooms. So you could make pages upon pages upon pages of industry information and expertise.
Yeah.
I think that I'm a big proponent of putting as much information on your website to drive that organic traffic. I mean, there's a whole world out there that just wants to learn. And the best place to learn is from somebody that's been doing it for 30, 40 years.
Yeah. We have 1,400 pages on our website.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But we're cutting it back.
Sure. It can become a lot to manage.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge. And we're in Craig is in the middle of doing that now. Not today. He's watching us and telling me to move closer to the mic.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about some of your plans for BD.
Sure. So, BD Industrial, like I mentioned, has been around for 75 years. And a lot of the employees there have worked there their whole lives. I mean, some people started when they were 16 years old and still work there.
Wow.
I mean, they're talking a lot of industry knowledge, a lot of industry experience. And I think obviously one of the challenges for the industrial sector today is workforce, right? Skilled workforce.
Yeah.
So what I really want to do is sit these people down, record the meeting because I probably won't remember everything, and just tell them, talk to me. Tell me what you know, because they've learned so much from over the years doing projects, running into challenges, overcoming them. How did you do that? And that's the kind of information that we really need to extract from them so that we can train, new labor on how to do things.
One of the things that we've run across with some manufacturers, that if somebody comes in work on Monday and say, listen, I'm here 40 years. I'm giving you notice. I'm retiring.
Right.
You give them a bonus.
Please
stay a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll double your
start
whatever.
the download. Yeah.
And here I'm going to give you a guy to work with for a year.
Yep.
I'm going to give you a bonus, and then I'm going to give you an out the door bonus.
Right.
And there are companies that are doing that.
That's a smart idea.
It's working very well with many companies. We have at All Metals and Forge Group, we got people that have been with us for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's hard to replace that.
It's near impossible.
It almost is.
I mean, that, like I said, not everything's written in a book. Not everything's a video recorded. And every challenge is different. And, even people that have been on the job for 60 years run into new challenges that they have to figure out, and then they take bits and pieces from their past on how they fix little problems, and then they're able to use that industry experience to make some.
How is the employee who's with you 40 years, 50 years, and then you bring in a new technology,
right?
And you, Joe, I know you're here 40 years, but you got to learn how to do it this way.
Right.
How does that work?
Luckily, some of our guys have been accepting for it. They trust us, right? And it really is about the rollout, providing them with the proper tools in order to do the job with the new technology. The last thing that anybody wants is, you need to start using this. Okay, well, what is it? How do I use it? And when you don't provide that training, you're really setting them up for failure.
Sure.
So I think that, showing them how to do it, and then showing them, what are we going to gain from this tool? How is this going to make our lives better? That really shows them that carrot. And then they usually will adopt it, because over time, I mean, the world is all about adapting today and taking advantage of these new technologies. Because if you don't, you get left behind.
Change or die.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And there's a lot of change going on right now.
You bet.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So that, I just had one other point I wanted to talk with you about. So has B&D... I gather they've changed to an automation platform.
Yes, correct.
With robots, conveyors, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, B&D Industrial started with the original automation, right? Electric motors hooked to machines, doing a process. And over time, it just got smarter and smarter, using PLCs, timing, being able to connect two processes to say, hey, this stopped, stop this one too. And as, with those workforce challenges that we were talking about, more and more automation, that's only sped it up, right? And especially in different industries. But we have started to adjust more to the automation sector with panels, VFDs, drives, integrating into different facilities, building automation systems. So really learning that, and it becomes more of an engineering portion.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've really leaned into that. And that was part of the reason for some of the name change was we don't just do bearings and drives anymore. We do industrial solutions.
Right. Okay. Andrew, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for stopping by.
Absolutely. Anytime.
And, we'll talk sometime when we're offline or back at our home plant.
Yeah, I'd love that.
See what's going on, and maybe we can have you on the show.
For sure.
And talk more about how your marketing is going along.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
That's our show for today. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to support the show, please like and subscribe, share on social media, or leave a review. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Rumble, or your favorite podcast app. Visit us online at mfgtalkradio.com for our other episodes. We have also included links to our advertisers below. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.